This episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by NordVPN.
Go to nordvpn.com/rogue and get 75% off a 3-year plan. That's less than $3 a month.
Yeah, and if you spell it right, ROGUE will even give you an extra month free. You're welcome.
Don't make us send the night after you, because he will show you no mercy.
Also, he'll just stand there. He's creepy. It's haunted. It's a haunted night. All right, Trevor, just answer the question.
Answer the question, Trevor.
Does the glass matter? Does it matter?
Yes.
Ah, good episode. Cool. That was fast.
Okay, good. All right, we're back at Parker Jazz Club with our favorite bartender, Trevor Fehrenbach.
So let's talk about the different shapes of things. I do believe, as we learned with our experience with the beerists, that the shape of the glass does everything from affect the aromatics. As we hung out with the whiskey tribe, we learned that the Glencairn is their preferred whiskey drinking vessel of choice. Can you give us just a broad overview of why the shape of the vessel matters?
It's not only the shape. For instance, the Tiki Mug. Why does it look like this?
I don't know, it's haunted. They're
cursed.
haunted drinks.
It's definitely cursed.
I've seen him drink them and it ends badly.
That's why I quit drinking cursed glassware.
Well, essentially what you have there is take brown, dark liquor, and any other color, what are you gonna get?
Oh, something that looks like poop.
So why not put it in
so
something?
you hide the diarrhea behind an opaque ceramic mug. That's amazing. Now that I'm thinking this through, it occurs to me that that different vessels carry temperatures at different speed, and all of that must matter.
It's actually called thermal lag, and with the Tiki Mug, with it being ceramic, it's actually gonna keep the ice colder longer than glass or metal.
So this has an insulating effect. So this is a drink that is not very attractive to look at, that it matters that the ice sticks around the entire drink long. Essentially you have basically a Yeti cooler or something.
And it's another way for a bar to make, a quick $20 when they're wanting to leave.
That matters too.
You know where that came from?
Target?
Well, that is the iconography of the people of the South Pacific, brought back by GIs from World War II.
And there was an adverse effect to that. Because of the GIs who were stationed in Japan after the war and wanted to drink a cocktail, Japan learned how to make them and make them better, and actually influenced the cocktail boom of 2006 all the way back right after World War II.
True fact. Those shipping lanes, now called the GI Tract.
Well done.
All right, what's next? Talk to me about the martini.
Are you sure it's a martini glass? Are you
Oh,
sure it's not a cocktail glass?
Oh, I don't know. I know this is
it
the
looks like a
icon.
martini glass.
Look, all I know is I go to an airport and I want a Jameson and there's this on the picture, so I go there.
So the original cocktail glass was a slimmer, smaller version of the martini glass. In 1925, the Parisians then introduced a wider base to the drink and then decided to call it the martini glass for any drink that was up. The stem on the end obviously was there to keep your hand away from it, from keeping the drink getting warm.
Oh, of course, because if you're doing this, it's gonna get way too warm, way too fast. So
And you can't put ice in a glass that small.
from a design standpoint, this suddenly makes so much sense.
So what kind of cocktails would you put in there?
It's going to be anything that's up. Say a Manhattan, a martini, something that has been stirred, that is already chilled and is going to stay chilled because you are no longer holding on to it.
And if I were to speculate wildly, I would guess that this implies that there's not much of an aromatic nature to experience when you drink a martini. It's not like you sit there and sniff the martini beforehand.
You're right on track there, because, and it's not the GI track. What it is, it's actually the wider surface is for you to gulp it quicker.
Got it. So you sell more, you move them fast, they look fancy.
A little known fact, if you get a martini, however many olives are in it, that's how many drinks it should be. So if you have a 3 olive martini, it should be 3 gulps.
How did I not know this?
I've never heard that.
This is amazing.
But talk to the Spaniards, talk to the Italians, you're gonna get different amounts of olives because they're superstitious about odds and evens.
Okay, fascinating. What's next? That's the highball.
No. This is a Cosmopolitan, isn't it?
No.
The Long Island iced tea. This is a Spyglass. We're suddenly an improv troupe.
Help us here.
I heard dentist.
This is a Collins glass.
What? Like for
Now-
a vodka Collins or a Tom Collins?
Now, some people may believe that it's named after Tom Collins, but it's actually John Collins, who is mentioned in a poem from a bar in London in the late 1700s about being the head server at this bar. And he invented a drink that eventually became known as the Tom Collins.
Whenever someone would order it, he would have to go, "It's John."
I'm
John.
right here.
Not
right
Tom,
here.
it's John.
It's my Tom is my dad.
It has always been the Collins glass. Whether or not we know whether it was Tom or John or whoever, but when Jerry Thomas's book came out, who is the father of mixology, he called it the Tom Collins because the drink originally called for Old Tom Gin.
So somebody conflated the two, and that's how we ended up with this. All right, so if I was going to guess based on what you told us about the martini glass, I'm going to guess that, again, it's not that you want to slam it down really fast, but you also really don't care about the aromatics in there. Also, it's fine if the ice melts. That's why your hand is all over this, and it does seem like an efficient design as well, whereas this seems fairly inefficient for space. This is just like drink goes here, fist goes here, belly gets full.
Well, and that's a good point on the martini glass, because when you're holding a martini glass in like a social arena, say, you are trying to make points, you're talking, but you're slowly gesturing. It's a slow, methodic gathering. Whereas a Collins, you can run around with it.
Collins is an end of the evening drink.
Yeah.
With this Collins glass, the reason it's designed this way is because of the Ramos Jim Fizz, which is one of New Orleans' oldest drinks. With the egg foam, the drink would be here, but the foam would come all the way up. So that's the reason for the tall cylinder shape, is to catch all that egg foam.
This is also the perfect shape for one of my all-time favorite bar bets, which is to ask which is more, the circumference around the top or the length all the way down to the bottom. Most people visually just assume it's got to be the height, and there's no trickery here. It's just that our brains can't conceive of the fact that it's actually farther around the circumference than the height.
All right, what's next?
So this is actually a Nicanor glass.
What?
And
No.
do you know who Nicanor is?
Yeah, from the Thin Man movies, from like the 20s or 30s. They're some of my favorite crime noir thrillers.
What is happening?
It was a couple in the silver screen era that loved to drink.
And it was this crime-fighting couple named Nick and Nora.
So what's special about this? This seems to me to be just a martini glass that is slightly easier to hold in your knuckles, I guess.
When you ask me if the glass matters, this time it doesn't. A Nicanor is a glass that's used for a drink that you kind of want to get down a little bit quicker because you might want to get out. You got more drinking to do somewhere else.
Got it. So this is just a...
Or you might have a crime to solve.
You
I don't know.
don't want to say, give me a shot. So instead you say, give me a Nicanora of blank.
Holy shit. He's like the Rain Man of glassware.
I am a legitimate bartender.
I've actually never thought about that, but yes, that's a fancy way of drinking a shot. So is asking for a martini with no vermouth shaken in a martini glass. You just want a shot of vodka.
Okay, I know what this one is. This is the coupe.
That's the booby one. The French say you don't want a booby bigger than that.
Marie Antoinette's breast, allegedly. Who knows if that's true or not, but what kind of drinks do you put in here? Like champagne?
Milk?
Milk? Oh, God. What's up with the coupe?
I don't know, it's the opposite of a martini glass. To me, the use of this is about not being able to spill anything out of it. You can swish it around, roll it around.
There's an irrational amount of anxiety I have whenever I do a martini. I'm just like, I better drink it as fast as possible, which I guess is also what they want to do, whereas this is meant to be held and you feel safe holding onto it and gesturing for a long time.
Also, try toasting that as compared to this when it's full.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because this was the original champagne glass, so it was easier to toast with.
And whatever liquid goes forward is gonna roll back in, whereas this is just gonna go everywhere, so you're safer just drinking.
Snifters. What do you use a snifter for? Brandy, right?
Yeah, brandy, cognac. The reason that it is designed like this is because it traps the gas that is emitting from the alcohol to have, like you talked about, the aroma that's coming out of it, okay? The bell at the end then traps it at the bottom, and when you're holding it like this, it allows for it to be heated up by your hand, which you want when it comes to a cognac or a brandy or even some whiskeys. The reason I really love a snifter is the presentation of a drink for a guest. So if someone wants their cognac heated up, here's all you have to do, is you'll take a highball glass, fill it with hot water. You'll then take your brandy or your snifter glass,
Oh, that's clever.
And it just warms up the brandy for them, and it's a nice way to present it.
And then you can just spin the glass this way and then warm up their spirit for them. Much like a wine glass.
Yeah, it'll swirl around without spilling everywhere.
And you can get that aroma.
It's not bad.
So now that there we go. Now we've also got the highball there, which I thought was called a tumbler.
Tumbler, highball, rocks glass. They all have different variations. Highballs used to be a little bit bigger as well. Highballs are your one-in-ones, your gin and tonics, your gin and sodas, your vodka sodas, your whiskey and ginger, your whiskey and sodas, whiskey and Coke.
You called those one-in-one, so just one ingredient and another ingredient.
Yes,
Okay.
spirit mixer.
Okay.
And that's what a highball is all about. There's really nothing fancy about them. Doesn't matter. Depends on how much mixer you want. So yes, the size would then come into play on that one.
It does make a lot of sense. Everything else seems to have a reason for it, give or take, but this one just is like, it's a cup.
Taste-wise, no. For the flavor, no. But for a bar, yes. Because they're short, you can stack them, you need more of them because more people are drinking them, and if they break, they're cheap.
And finally, what is this called? The mule cup?
Mule cup. Back to the thermal lag, that's actually escaping so fast that it's not keeping it as cold as a ceramic.
So this is a case where you actively want the ice to be melting as fast as possible, so you're able to hold it in your hands and suddenly just, you're watering it down?
They have a deep bell to them. You're putting a lot of ice in it. You're drinking this drink quick. If someone's drinking a mule, they'll have 2 or 3. This has more of a sleek design to it, and I'm starting to see a lot more mules coming out slender, taller, and sheen with no buck kick to it.
I don't know, wait, sorry, what is a buck kick?
The original mule cup had dents all over it. It was a failed business, and when these 2 men who were trying to sell their vodka got together with this woman who was trying to sell her copper cups that had all these dents in it, it was right before the Cold War. In order to just kind of throw a little shade at the Russians, we put a vodka in an American cup that had been kicked by a donkey.
Got it. So
Throwing a little shade.
if you must have that Soviet beverage, why don't you have it in something that's been kicked around by a donkey?
I've seen lately the trend is to call them American mules. Back then there was nothing more American than a donkey kicking a Russian spirit.
All right, so you've got a surprise for us. Your favorite glassware to cap it all. Go ahead.
The shot glass.
Okay, sure, why not?
Do you want to know why it matters?
Why?
Quick delivery.
Yes. You're right, because actually, even if it's the same volume of liquid at the bottom of a tiki glass with all of this texture and ridges and all that, you're gonna be doing this the
Looking kinda
entire
desperate.
time trying to get your shot.
Oh, bring that up again.
Minimize the surface area on there. Actually, you know what? I think you brought me on board.
All right, Trevor, where can we find more of your magic online?
Barstool Theory, Instagram, Twitter, that's my handle.
Easily bribed in Rumpelmans. Delivered in his favorite vehicle. Where's the Rumpelmans?
They don't carry it in this bar for a reason.
This has the words Rumpelmans. I always thought that was a bit. He really loves. All right.
Do you wear the armor when you're surfing the internet?
I mean, I should. Fire comes at you when you're on the internet.
Or
Onions?
bathtub full of poop? The armor protects you.
Explain to me this whole metaphor. In this story, what is NordVPN?
NordVPN is the armor. That is the armor that you wear when you're surfing the internet with Nord. It protects people from getting in your biz and all the slings and arrows of outrageous websites and bad actors and people tracking your biz. That protects you, man.
It sounds to me like what you're trying to say is that NordVPN is our favorite virtual private network, something that makes you more anonymous, more protected, so you're not constantly seeing all these targeted ads, or maybe you're geo-locked. Guess what? You can clap your hands and go to Canada. Thank you, NordVPN.
Yes, Nord keeps you safe. It is PC Magazine's only VPN to get a perfect score.
And on top of all of that, it's the fastest VPN I've ever used. Leave it on just all the freaking time.
Nonstop.
Best part, super, super cheap. You would think all of this would be expensive? Less than $3 a month if you go to nordvpn.com/rogue.
Don't walk into battle naked.
Yeah, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Put on some clothes for crying out loud.
Yeah, you can get a 3-year plan at 75% off. It's less than $3 a month for armor.
Also, you'll be keeping us in business. Go to battle naked. Where did that metaphor come from? Is that a thing?
The Celts actually would show their bits under their kilt, which seems really reckless to me. I prefer that. I prefer Nord. Don't get hit by internet poop.
Thank you, NordVPN. I hope they let us run this.
Right
Brian Brushwood, legitimate historian.
Oh God, that was good. Oh man, I thought he actually had.
I did too.
I thought he remembered something from a documentary. All of a
I
sudden.
thought that was legit.
There was that, like I said it, and then
I started to believe you. I was like, it's cracked. Oh.